Hello. This is my presentation for the Security Program Roadmap presentation, specifically for upper management, and it was made by me, Adrian Andrade, and here it begins. So the summary so far at Canyon Aeronautics is there's been a buyout of Lockheed Martin, reduction of essential materials, and some changes in the economy. Or in more detail, the Lockheed Martin, if anyone here doesn't know that, basically, recently, Lockheed Martin, our competitor, has been bought out by McDonald's. And now Lockheed Martin isn't so concerned about creating defenses and design schematics for aeronautics for the Defense Force, but now they're more concerned about transportation, specifically on transportation of McDonald's foods. There has also been a reduction of essential materials such as copper and silver, which we use in a lot of our designs. But now that there's a lot less of that, we're going to have to switch many of our old designs for newer ones that use a lot less copper and silver. And lastly, changes in the economy. With the rise of inflation, we're going to have to increase the cost of many art designs in order to keep up in this changing times. This is a quick overview of our security program roadmap. Firstly, we will gather our team, gather everyone that is required to get this security program up and running, list all of our available inventory, assess all the risk that we currently have, and then manage all of that risk. In other words, we will begin reducing, logging, or just straight up ignoring the risks that we have. Next, we will have incident response, in which we will create a whole response plan for our team in case an incident does ever occur. Disaster recovery is the same way, but this is going to be for more drastic and more catastrophic events that happens. Next, we will manage third parties. And we'll do that by creating a list of all of our available lenders and suppliers and such, all of which that have critical information on our systems at Canyon Aeronautics. And this is basically to find out the risk for each of them. Nextly, we'll apply security controls. This is basically the action phase of our plan. We will actually establish all of the available security controls that we have. And then we'll establish training for our employees and then perform an audit to see if our security program is actually working at the very end. This is at the very later stages of everything. Next is maintenance for our security program. This is how we'll actually maintain things for our security program. We'll do this by doing routine checkups of critical software, upkeeping antivirus and anti-malware, automated and routine updates, schedules for scans of potential software vulnerabilities. That's very important. Best practices and frameworks for security tools. Some of the best practices includes routinely checking security tools, always updating when needed. That's very important. Mapping out existing networking tools, and all of that. The fundamental security design principles in play with our security programs. So the most fundamental security principles that we'll be dealing with our security program today is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Oops. All of the best systems, all the good systems have a balance of these three. Analysis of common security failings and violated design principles. So the most common ones by far is probably ransomware and the IoT attacks. Ransomware is still a very common and often a very unpredictable sort of attack that there really isn't much in the way of actually providing solutions for it. And the same thing is with IoT attacks. Some of the violated design principles is shared and weak passwords. We definitely want to avoid that for our security program. We definitely don't want to share passwords or create weak ones. Missing audits, same thing. As you noticed from the roadmap, our last step was audits. So we definitely don't want to miss any of those. We want to make sure that our security program is actually working. And security through obscurity. Some steps that are needed to monitor and control our security program. So this will require continuous monitoring through IDS, or in other words, identification detection system, very important. Minimize access, firewall, usernames, and passwords. And that is the very end for our Canyon Aeronautics presentation. Thank you.